Go on then, let's do it.
Here we go in our next interview for getting to know people at Stratford Town Football Ground, and I'm joined by the one and only Granty, Paul Grant. I mean, you know, we've they laugh, but you don't miss a game. You've been associated with the club since 19... Mm-hmm. Your dad coached the the under 16s and stuff like that, and you've been involved in junior football. So you tell me all about your time at Stratford Town Football Club.
Well, like I say, my dad coached the under 16s, which was Woody and his little group. Which
you must have had hair then.
Just.
Yeah.
That was about 72, 73, I think.
Right.
Which was...
Can't imagine Woody being 16.
Yeah, he was in a good side as well at that time. Yeah, they did well.
Oh, he must have carried him.
And he went in goal, I think, after that. Yeah, proved his prowess up front and then went in goal. But then after that, obviously, got back involved when I was about 17, I think.
Yep.
And since then, I've done virtually every job you want to know.
Yep.
Youth team match secretary,
yep.
First team match secretary, kit man, all the way through basically.
Okay.
Don't ask me why, because I don't know why.
Okay. Tell me about being on the committee then.
Yeah, it was a strange time when we were on the committee. The club, as well documented, was in various problems, various stages through that.
No neat and in disguise?
No, not quite as bad. It was just what it was at the time. Lack of money. We didn't ever have any money.
Yeah.
We just scraped through. It was just a team effort. When I was on the committee, Stuart Dixon was chairman. Stuart, Stratford through and through, was with Stuart, you know, he's been through the club, played, managed, chairman, and everything else. So it was just doing what you could, when you could in those days, you know.
A bit different in Mason's Road, though, wasn't it? Because I think you had a bit of a social club there where people could come after work and stuff like that.
Yeah. That was the one advantage from, obviously it's a great ground, but people could walk to the ground and people would have a drink, so you would make a lot of money.
Yeah.
On Saturday afternoon, before the first finish, we were packed because all the local leagues kicked off at 2 o'clock, 2:15. Then came back because we were the only place that was open in those days on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
So, it was a different time.
I'm guessing you had quite a few good memories.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, over the years, met a lot of lovely people. A lot of people had the club in heart, and it's like everybody's done what they could when they come on board. You know, it's. Say we got to the difficult time in 97, 98, and it just unfortunately couldn't go on. But then, thanks to Craig and Stuart and various others, we managed to get the club back open, and pretty much since that time we've been on the up.
Yep.
You know, always had a good side, always managed to put a good side out, had plenty of good players, produced good youth players.
That seems to be the thing running through the teams, though, isn't it? Even now, there's a big onus on youth and developing within and through the ranks there. Even so then, I believe quite a few players came through the youth and played for the first team, or if they didn't play for our first team, went on to play for somebody else's first team. Yeah.
I mean, Molly's a good case in point, because Molly came through our youth system, and, you know, obviously moved on to various other clubs, Hereford, etc. So he made a good career out of it. So we did produce good players through the youth system at that time.
Wasn't somebody called Will Grigg as well?
Yes, briefly, yes. Woody remembers more about him than I do, but yeah, obviously he's doing good things at the moment, scoring lots of goals. You could probably do with him, but...
So, obviously, great memories. Tell me about painting the railings and the boards at Mason Road.
That was a mad idea I had. because we changed the kit from the tangerine to the blue, I thought, in my wisdom, it'd be a good idea to paint the railings blue. First 2 or 3 are great. When you get to 30, 40, 50, and yeah, it wasn't a good plan. Did it? But it was like every waking hour we was painting a rail. Obviously some didn't get done underneath in the end. Thinner than thinner coats.
Absolutely. So, obviously, you travel to lots of away grounds. I mean, you're the first person I'll go to. What's this place like? What's that place like? And but I believe you got a little bit of an education when you started off going to away games, and you were taught the art of drinking by certain people that went with you.
Yes, again, that was a different era, Stu. Yeah, it was Saturday afternoons was watch the town, drink, eat, get back and drink and obviously eat some more. But yeah, that was we were in then, Midland Com, I think. I mean, half those places now probably got houses on, but yeah, it was. Well, one was now my father-in-law, but yeah, that was best left alone. I think that was.
Okay, well, we won't do that. So, I mean, you there isn't a ground I don't think that you ain't been to. Tell me your best and what's the worst.
It's cruel to say the worst because I think.
Oh no, it's not.
I think so because people at each club do their own work, and I don't like to. Yes, there's been some bad grounds, and there's been some great grounds. Boston was a great ground. Scarborough's was all right. And then we've been obviously with the U team when they went on their big run. We went to Burton, etc., etc. So we've been most of the grounds in the Midlands, I would say.
Yeah.
But I mean, initially I like Telford's ground.
Yeah.
It's topical at the moment, but obviously now I don't see a lot of the grounds. All I see is the pitch.
Well, obviously now people will recognise you crouched behind in front of the hoardings, as it were, and in the firing line for some of the shots and things like that. But how long have you been doing photography?
Not too long actually. That was, I think Craig put me onto it years ago because I used to do a lot of wildlife photography, and Craig wanted to move it on, so he got me to do a few, and Woody was doing some as well. But Woody was still doing a few when we were on the bench because Woody was a physio and I was the kit man at the time. So it's probably 8-9 years now, I would think, but not to the serious level of doing it now. You
must have a hell of an hard drive.
I don't keep much if I can help it. I keep what I think's good, what people might want, and that's it. Everything else just disappears into the ether. Once it's published somewhere, that's enough for me. So
you sidestepped the worst ground and said, well, tell me what's the best picture you think that you've taken at a football match?
My favourite for a while was the one with the 3 lads this year, Cal, Ice and Molly.
Yep.
That one, I liked a lot, that one. But I get a lot of good ones with Cal.
Yeah.
Because he obviously knows where I am.
Yeah.
And he likes the camera, so it's great. Makes my job easy. Will Grocott was the same. Ben Stevens, they were great. But great pictures of those. But at the moment, I would say that one with the 3. I think that is one of my when everything went right.
Yeah. So you very, very rarely miss a game. You're going up the road and all that, and you know, I know for a fact that your car share pool is very interesting, and the conversations sometimes get a little bit close to the mark, maybe.
I think they go past the mark sometimes.
Dave, we're talking about you.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, just recently we've had Dave mentioning his trip to Swansea. I don't know whether he told you that one. You know.
Trip to Swansea. I saw the picture of him with his hat on and his daughter with the hat on. And she looked very well. Yeah,
he's only mentioned that the odd occasion.
Yeah. He hasn't actually told me that one yet, though. I mean, you know, he's in my bad books anyway from what happened at Redditch.
Is in most people's bad books a lot of time, I think. But yeah, it works well. We've got a good little group now, so yeah.
Yeah, and taking a director along as well. We're tagging along there as well.
It always helps. Gets a good parking space occasionally.
Well, even if he does go through water.
It wasn't water, Stu, that was a river. My feet were wet. And I think Woodley's still married about it.
So, anyway, let's bring us back to the present day. We've got Telford on Saturday. What's your views on the season so far?
Great. I said to Jed asked me at the start of the season what we thought the goals were. I thought playoffs. And at the moment, touch wood, that's going to where it is. We've got a lot of tough games to come, some good sides. But we've already proved we can play the good sides. You know? I think it'd be interesting if we get a result Saturday against Telford. Gives us a little bit of breathing space, and all of a sudden it makes it. The next game then becomes more important, which again is a tough one at St Ives. But,
yeah.
You know, it's still not quite sure who's going to win the league.
Yeah.
Looking like Needham at the moment.
Yeah.
You would say, but you've only got to put 3 or 4 wins together. We could win the next 4 or 5 games all of a sudden.
Well, we won the last 4.
Yeah, exactly. Win 4 or 5 games and we're in the box seat, as they say. But, I think if we got to the playoffs, I'd be more than happy.
Absolutely, me and all. But
if we won the league, I'd be delirious. I might even have a drink.
I think we're going to have a drink in a minute, but there you go. Paul, pleasure talking to you.
Cheers.
Continue doing what you're doing. You're a great stalwart at the club. Thank you very much.